Yo guys, what's going on? Robert Warshak here, and now that we've had the Sunken City out for a couple weeks, we've got to play quite a few games. We've tested every basically class and all of the new legendaries. I think we can come to a conclusion on which ones are pretty good and you should craft, or if you're interested in, they're pretty safe. And then for those of you who got some and you're not really sure if you want to keep them or not, we can kind of get some disenchants in there as well. So with that, we're going to be looking at Demon Hunter. We'll go through the list, and then after this video, if you guys like it, we can do like a full all of the legendaries in standard, but right now we'll just do Sunken City because they're new, and obviously guys, you're going to want to craft those. So Lady, super good, fits into basically every single Demon Hunter deck besides like probably Big Demon Hunter. Aggro Demon Hunter is one of the best classes and decks right now. She's also found in Quest and OTK DH, so overall this is a really fantastic card, and basically no matter when you play her, she needs to be killed and dealt with, or you kind of just win. So Lady, super good if you're interested in Demon Hunter, very safe craft. Looking at the Abyss, yo, this guy is super cool. He's got a very unique ability. He's the Demon Hunter Colossus. Unfortunately, he sucks. Even in Big Demon Hunter, he's still a little questionable, even though you can get him out on turns like 4 or 5 at the best. He's just not as good as some of the other Colossal minions that we've seen, and he's just pretty low impact. So if you happen to have crafted him, maybe he fits into like a Big Demon Hunter if we can even like weave in one of those of the meta. But yeah, this guy is not very good at all, and he's basically not found in any deck. The only time this guy gets played is from like the Queen, right? And the Queen will generate a random Colossal, and then unfortunately you'll get him. Same thing goes with the Druid Colossal. This guy's overall just pretty bad. If you happen to again randomly generate him, he's okay, but no Druid deck would ever willingly like play this guy at the moment. Just with the power level of Druid right now, it just doesn't need it, right? We've got the Kaz Druid, the Dragon Druid, there's like a Celestial Druid floating around, and you know, none of those decks really play this guy whatsoever. He's a good defensive tool. Oh my god, dude, do you agree with me? Dude wanted to rate some cards too. He's a good Hearthstone player. He's made it to Legend multiple seasons. He's destroyed many doggy toys. He's a very talented pupper. Tell them what you think about this Druid card. Okay. Hedra the Heretic. Again, very cool Naga Druid card. For each spell you've cast while holding this, summon a minion of that spell's cost. We actually tried to play her in more of like a Naga value Druid at one point in time, and unfortunately she kind of just needs to like sit in your hand for a long period of time while you accumulate value on her. I mean, even if you want to use like 2 big spells and then play her, she's okay. But by no means do you need that in Druid in order for Druid to be good, right? So at the moment, again, not really played at all, not really found in any Druid decks, but she's a really cool Naga card. She's a really cool Druid card, and there may be uses for her in the future, but she's better than the Colossal DH and the Colossal Druid card. Nazjan. Okay, yeah, this guy is really good. He's found in Face Hunters. He's found in Beast Hunters. He's found in the Quest Hunter. Overall, this is just like one of those cards, if left unchecked, you kind of just win. Same thing goes for the Demon Hunter Lady Syntho, right? So this guy, really good, and again, found in most Hunter decks. We've got the Hydra deck, the Hydrolodon. This guy is found in basically Beast Hunter, or Big Beast Hunter, or Death Rattle Hunter, just because you can pull this guy out with the sabers. The deck is very fun. In regards to like good is in tier good, it's probably like low tier 2, high tier 3. I got a couple, we did post a video on it. A couple people had mentioned that deck did pilot them to D5 easily, and one even managed to hit Legend just off the people who left comments. So if you're interested in a Big Beast Hunter, this is not a bad Colossal to go for. And again, he's not like a super tier 1 guy, but he's definitely not bad by any means. What's going on? Appreciate you watching. If you do like the content and you like the channel, be sure to drop that sub. Leave a like and a comment on the videos that you do like. It really helps the channel out, shows it to more people, keeps it growing, and allows me to keep doing this as my job. And if not, that's okay too. I'll see you at the next McDonald's drive-thru. Moving to Mage, the Commander. Super good card, found in Big Mage, found in Value Mage, found in Naga Mage, found in basically every sort of mage deck that you can imagine right now because she is super value. You basically cast 3 spells while she's in your hand. When you play her, you get those 3 spells back. She's like a storage keeper. And whether you're using her to get more wildfires, blizzards, ruined orbs. I mean, she just has a ton of value built into her, and stat wise, she's not terrible at all, and she's a Naga. So this card is pretty damn good. Looking at Gaia the Tectonic, another of the better of the Colossals. This guy is found in any sort of mech mage you would ever build. If you're playing mech mage, you absolutely need this card. This is a absolutely want to have mech mage card. However, if you're trying to weave him into some deck that isn't mech mage, that is where his downfall is. I mean, he's a decent card just as is, but you would obviously rather play him in a mech deck. So if you have no interest in mech mage, you obviously don't need this card. But if you're going to play mech mage, you obviously do. Looking at some paladin cards, we played the Lightbane and a couple buff paladin decks that we had brewed. It was pretty good, but by no means was he necessary at all. I don't see him being a meta card for quite some time. Buff paladin, even in its current form, doesn't even play this guy, and this guy only synergizes with buffs. Maybe if Noble Mount was a holy spell, this guy could see a little bit of play, but at the moment he just sees no play and is found in 0 decks. However, the Leviathan is probably one of the most, if not the most played Colossal besides the Warrior one. Super good, has immediate impact. Both of these pieces have rush, divine shield, which means they're gonna live, they're gonna dredge, they're gonna draw. If it sticks around, it's gonna get a shit ton of value. So yeah, this is a very good Colossal. If you enjoy paladin, this fits into every single paladin deck. So this is what's cool, right? So you have like that mech Colossal, which really only fits into mechs, right? It's like it only does the mech thing. But this is a universal. This could fit into any paladin deck that you want to build, and it's just good, right? So cards like this, in my opinion, are a little bit better to craft just because they fit into all of your paladin decks rather than just a single deck. Priestess, she's found in most of the priest decks right now. Unfortunately, priest is a really bad class. It's actually the worst performing class out of all of the classes right now. Priest has had its time to shine. I don't really care if priest is bad because they've been good for a long time. And priestess is a very good card, so I'm sure in the future this card will be good. If you have her and you enjoy priest, I would not disenchant her. But yeah, she's found in most priest decks. The Blackwater Behemoth. Again, I have not actually seen a single player play this card against me unless it was randomly generated, again, by the queen or something like that. It's not a bad card, but because priest is so bad, it just doesn't see play. So unfortunately, this card's hard to rate right now. I've tried it. It feels good, but at the same time, like, priest needs some sort of win condition, and the only thing they have right now is like the quest, or they have like the mill package or whatever. So most of the priest decks, again, they're just not being played a lot, and they're not very good in regards to just people winning with them. Krakatoa, very good in a rogue deck. Again, is one of those Colossals that can be weaved into most rogue decks. Doesn't need to be a weapon rogue or a pirate rogue. It just, most rogue, you just can slot this into a rogue deck, especially like a Highlander if you're trying to go for that, and it'll do great. So yeah, Krakatoa, very good. Pirate Admirable Hooktusk. So Pirate Rogue, I think the deck is really underplayed right now. I think it's really good. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Pirate Rogue, and I think this is one of the best cards in it. The reason being, if we're going to continue seeing Kaz, the dragon, and they decide they want to get treasures or any of that, first, rogues still have Shadow Step. So you play Pirate, maybe steal some cards to their hand, steal combo cards, or if you're playing against a combo deck that has it still in their deck like a priest, you can steal those. Then when you Shadow Step it back, you wait for your opponent to play Kaz, or if that's the kind of deck they're playing, and then you steal 50% of their treasures, and they actually just go to your hand immediately. And then you're going to be able to at least play 1 or 2 of them, because this is going to cost 6 mana. And then the following turn, you can do this again if you want to save the other Shadow Step. So Pirate Rogue does really good against basically any Kaz deck, in my opinion. And it's solely because of this card here. Again, the problem is, if you're not playing pirates, this card sucks, right? Like, you have to be playing Pirate Rogue for this card to be useful. So if you have no interest in Pirate Rogue, you don't need this card whatsoever. Shaman, this card actually saw a lot of play at the start of the expansion and kind of fizzled off. And that's just because a lot of people aren't playing Shaman right now. I do think this is quite a powerful card. It's a 3-mana, 3/4 elemental. You just get benefits for all of the different spell schools, right? So I do believe this card is good. I do believe it'll see play when Shaman gets a little bit more popular, but right now it doesn't really see too much play. Gulper, it was played a little bit at the start of the expansion and in a few different like burn shaman, control shaman brews. Unfortunately, it just doesn't do anything when you play it. It doesn't have rush. It doesn't have life steal. It doesn't have these things that other Colossals have that swing the game in your favor. So unfortunately, Glug, not that great, not found in any Shaman decks right now. Dayquil. This is a Curse Warlock card only. So if you're not interested in Curse Warlock, obviously you don't need this card. Curse Warlock has a lot of downfalls right now. One of them being that because Quest Hunter is so popular, the curses, if you give your opponent who is a Quest Hunter a curse and they take the damage on their turn, which they do, you actually help complete their quest, which is really bad. Like it's just like you're helping them win when you're playing a Curse Warlock deck. And unfortunately, until Quest Hunter isn't popular or they change that mechanic or something, Curse Warlock will always suck. Like, you just can't win. It's almost impossible. So, do not recommend Curse Warlock in this meta at all. Gigafin. I think he's a fun card. I think he's a cool card. He fits into Murloc, Warlock, but I think Twisting Nether is just better. And the reason being, Twisting Nether kills everything, and this guy doesn't necessarily kill it. If they kill him, you know what I mean? They pop back out. So while Twisting Nether isn't good in like the Murloc Warlock, and this guy is, most of the time if you're playing a Warlock deck, it's probably not going to be Murlocs. But if you like Murlocs, then you can play this guy. But if you don't like Murloc Warlock, I don't think you need this guy at all. Like, Twisting Nether is just better. Taking a look at Warrior, Lady Ashvane. I think this card is horrible. I just wish they would have given us something better, which they did. They gave us Nelly. I just wish it would have been a little bit better. Nelly is great, but like, this card is just so bad. It's a 5-mana 5/5. Give all weapons in your hand, deck, and battlefield +1/+1. I don't really see Warrior does, like, while we have a lot of weapons right now, we don't play them in our deck. We play like 2 weapons in our deck, and the rest, if you're gonna make them, are from the pirate ship. And or if you're playing more weapons in your deck, you're playing some really funky Warrior deck, and I don't really know how you win, because again, not drawing this card and running a bunch of weapons sucks. So we'll have to see what happens there. I don't think this card is very good at all, and I'm not sure if it'll ever see play in any of these metas. But maybe it does. Maybe there's like something that does something that does something. Great analysis. And then we have Nelly. This is, again, right on cue with the Leviathan in regards to the power colossals of the set. Very, very good card. Found in, of course, Pirate Rogue. Found in, of course, the Control Warrior. You can play this in any Warrior deck, and it's just great because you can get Mr. Smite from this, and that's just a ton of burst damage. It's a ton of value. It's 2 minions. It has Taunt. There's just nothing bad about this card at all. So if you're interested in playing Warrior of any kind, you absolutely need this in your deck. It is very, very good. So taking a look at some neutrals here. Sir Finley should have been free for you pretty much on your Tavern Pass track. So I'm not going to go over him. Ambassador Phelan, again, more of a meme sort of neutral. The Colossals at the bottom of the deck are cool. The Dredge is cool. It's value we don't need right now. I've tried to put this in a variety of different control decks, and I found that going for your original control deck's win condition rather than going for a bunch of random Colossals is just better. However, at any point in time in the future, if decks need alternate win conditions, you can play Brand and Phelan and then play Sir Finley and then fill your hand with, you know, Colossals. And as sick as that sounds, which is pretty sick and it's very fun, there's just better win cons than that because you need a lot of mana to do it. You need quite the setup. And right now, this meta is very fast and you have no time for stuff like that. Blade Master should have been free for everybody who logged in. Storm Coil is found basically in mech decks. She's a hit or miss, to be honest, because you basically, in my opinion, she's a win more because you need a good mech. I wouldn't say a good mech, but you need a mech on the battlefield, and you're playing a 5-mana 4/4, so not really great stats there, but you're giving it Rush and Divine Shield and Wind Fury. So it's kind of like, if you have a good mech out and you play this, you're hedged to win more. But if you have like nothing on the battlefield and you have this card in your hand, you're like, well, this sucks, right? So in my opinion, there's kind of just better mechs to play in replace of her that you would just continue playing rather than a win more mech synergy card. But if you happen to open her, you have some mech decks, you want to play some super value and make some really neat plays, she's there for you. But by no means is she like a staple in any mech deck. And then we have the Queen. In my opinion, she's a little overhyped. She is a very good card. She does give value, but everybody's trying to slot her into basically every control deck, and every control deck doesn't need her in it. So at the moment, when she was hot, we played her because she was fun. But right now, I think there's only going to be a couple control decks that she's actually going to be good in. And right now, I don't think it's all of them, but I do think she is a good keep just because she's a neutral, right? So she's able to slot into a bunch of classes, and maybe there's a surprise class or a surprise deck that she's in that she's really good in, like Highlander decks or something like that. So while she maybe not fit into as many decks as she's being played in now, I still think she's a solid card and a great keep. All right, so with that, we have all of the Sunken City legendaries. If I happen to miss something, or if you'd like to add anything on here, let me know in the comment section below, of course. And if you'd like more of an epic disenchant or all of the legendary cards in the standard format, let me know as well. This was kind of a hit or miss. We haven't made a disenchant guide in some time now, so we'll see how this does, and then we'll maybe pump out another one for you guys. So with that, as always, guys, I'm Robert Warshak, and happy whatever the hell day it is.